social curse. It started with an invite, just another social media app, another way to connect, or so I thought. I first heard about it from my friend Mark. He sent me a link. Join the circle and grow your social reach instantly. I wasn't big on social media, but curiosity got the best of me. The app was sleek, minimalist, and eerily quiet. No ads, no clutter, just a dark interface filled with user profiles, their faces, their updates. At first, it felt like any other platform. I followed a few people, liked a few posts, but something was off. My follower count started climbing rapidly. 100, 1,000, 10,000. I wasn't posting anything special, yet my numbers skyrocketed. When I checked my followers list, I noticed something strange. Many profiles had no pictures, no posts, no bios, just usernames, random numbers and letters. They never interacted, never commented, just followed, watching. I brushed it off, maybe bots. But then I noticed Mark had stopped posting. He was always online, always sharing something, but now, nothing. I messaged him, "Hey, you good? Not seeing you post anymore." No reply. That night, I woke up to a notification. "You have a new follower." The username was just a long string of numbers. I clicked the profile. No posts, no details. But the bio, "I see you." A chill ran down my spine. Maybe a prank. I locked my phone and rolled over in bed, only to notice something even worse. My window was open. I never opened my window. The air outside was still, thick with something I couldn't describe. My curtains barely moved, yet I felt something standing there, just beyond the dark, watching. I shut the window, locked it tight, and tried to shake the uneasy feeling, but sleep never came. When morning arrived, I was exhausted. My phone was still buzzing. More followers, more nameless, faceless accounts. I tried to delete the app, but every time I closed it, it reopened on its own. Then the messages started. Random numbers, all saying the same thing. "Let us in." My hands trembled as I called Mark, straight to voicemail. I tried again. Finally, a text from him popped up. "Get off the app, block them, whatever you do. Don't let them tag you." Tag me? I didn't understand. Then, right on cue, a new notification appeared. "You've been tagged in a photo." I clicked it, and my blood turned to ice. It was a picture of me, sitting at my desk. Except I wasn't alone. Behind me, in the dim light of my bedroom, dozens of shadowy figures stood, silent, staring. I whipped around, my breath shallow. The room was empty, but when I looked back at my phone, one of the figures had moved closer. I threw my phone onto the bed, heart pounding. No, this was a joke. Some kind of elaborate prank. It had to be. I texted Mark again. "What the hell is this? How do I stop it?" His reply was instant. "You can't. Once they see you, it's too late." I felt sick. My pulse hammered in my ears as I stared at the screen. My profile had changed. My picture was gone. My bio was different now. "We see you too!" I wanted out. I ran outside, breathing heavily, desperate for some kind of normalcy. The streets were busy, people chatting, cars honking. For a second, I thought maybe I was just sleep deprived, imagining things. Then I saw them. They stood at the edges of the crowd, figures with blurred faces, too still, too rigid. They didn't move like real people. They didn't blink. And worse, they were all staring at me. I turned a corner. More of them, at a cafe, inside a shop window, standing, waiting, watching. My phone buzzed again. "Why are you running?" My vision blurred as panic set in. I needed to get rid of the app. I needed to erase myself from it. I opened my phone and tried to log out. "Error. You cannot leave the circle." I slammed my thumb against the screen, deleting my profile. A moment of silence. Then a final message appeared. "You are no longer a user. You are now content." My phone screen went black. I turned around, heart hammering. The figures were closer now, no longer blurred. Their faces were mine. They smiled. Then everything went dark. The next day, Mark scrolled through the circle. He stopped when he saw a new account following him. No profile picture, no posts, just a name, a long string of numbers. Mark clicked on it. The bio read, "I see you." Google Grave. It started with a stupid bet. Search your name on Google, see what comes up, Alex said, grinning. Maybe you'll find something creepy. We were at his place, just killing time. It was a game we played sometimes, deep diving into the weirdest corners of the internet. But tonight, it felt different. The air was heavy, like something was watching. I typed my name, Ethan Calloway, hit search. At first it was normal, social media, an old college article. Then, a link near the bottom of the page caught my eye. Ethan Calloway, obituary. I froze. Alex laughed. Dude, someone with your name probably died. It happens. But my stomach twisted, because below the obituary's title, the date read, tomorrow. I clicked the link. A full obituary page loaded. My full name, my exact birth date, and below that, a single sentence that sent ice through my veins. Ethan Calloway passed away at exactly 11:47 p.m. Cause of death, pending update. A chill crept up my spine. This is a joke, right? Alex frowned, scrolling. It's a dead-end site. No ads, no sources, no comments. That's weird. I laughed, but it came out shaky. Yeah, someone's screwing around. Probably some random auto-generated. Then the page refreshed. The text shifted. My breath caught as new words appeared. Time of death updated 11:32 p.m. A full 15 minutes earlier than before. Alex swore under his breath. Dude, that's another refresh. Time of death updated 11:15 p.m. I shoved my chair back, shut it down. He clicked out of the page, but the obituary stayed. He closed the tab. It reappeared. The timestamp dropped again. Time of death updated 11:06 p.m. My hands were cold. Turn the damn computer off. Alex yanked the power cord. The screen went black. Silence. Then, from my pocket, my phone vibrated. A notification. Google Grave has been updated. Click to view changes. I stared at my screen, pulse pounding. The time now read 10:59 p.m. 7 minutes. I bolted out of the chair. I'm leaving. Alex grabbed my arm. Dude, calm down. Calm down. Some website is literally counting down to my death. He swallowed hard. It's just a prank. But his voice wavered. He didn't believe that. Neither did I. I ran outside, gasping the cold night air. My phone buzzed again. 10:55 p.m. The time was dropping faster. I jumped into my car, hands shaking as I gripped the wheel. If I could just get away. From the rearview mirror, I caught a glimpse of someone standing at the end of the driveway. Number not someone. Mr. The figure was identical to me. Same height, same face, same clothes I was wearing right now. It lifted a hand and waved. I floored the gas. The tires screeched as I tore down the road, heart hammering. My phone buzzed again. 10:47 p.m. I wasn't going to outrun this. I needed help. I called Alex. It rang twice before he picked up. Ethan. His voice was strangled. You're still here. What? I yelled, swerving past a red light. Of course, I'm still here. No, he breathed. Your obituary just updated. It says you already died. My stomach dropped. My hands tightened on the wheel. Then, the headlights of an oncoming truck flooded my vision. A split second. A decision. I yanked the wheel left. My car skidded off the road, tires screeching against pavement. Then, impact. The world spun, glass shattered, pain. Then, blackness. When I woke up, everything was wrong. The world was too still. No wind, no night sounds. Even the air felt empty. I was standing, on my feet. But I didn't remember getting up. I turned slowly, pulse thundering. My car sat a few feet away, crumpled and smoking. The windshield was shattered. Something inside it wasn't moving. I stepped forward, every breath shallow. I looked inside. My own lifeless eyes stared back at me. I staggered backward, chest tight. Number no. My phone buzzed again. I hesitated before looking. One new notification. Google Grave has been updated. With shaking hands, I clicked it. The page had changed. Ethan Calloway, deceased. And underneath, death confirmed. The page refreshed one last time, and my name disappeared. I looked up, and the world around me faded into nothing. Void Phone 14. It started as just another tech upgrade. The Void Phone 14 had just launched, and people were raving about its features. Advanced AI, ultra-fast processing, a battery that supposedly lasted a week, but the real highlight? A new camera mode. They called it Otherworld View. The marketing was cryptic, something about enhanced perception. The promo video showed influencers gasping in awe, pointing at things invisible to the naked eye. The tagline? See what you've been missing. I should have left it alone. The phone arrived in sleek black packaging. I unboxed it, powered it on, and spent the next hour transferring data. It felt like any other high-end phone until I found the Otherworld View buried deep in the camera settings. A small pulsing icon. No instructions, just a warning. Use at your own discretion. I should have stopped there. Instead, I tapped it. For a moment, the screen flickered. Then, everything looked the same. No filters, no effects, just my dimly lit apartment. I turned the camera toward my window. My reflection stared back at me, but something else did too. Behind me, standing in the corner of my room, was a figure. My throat closed. It was tall, thin, almost skeletal. Its skin, if you could call it that, was stretched too tightly over its frame, and its eyes, they weren't eyes, just dark, gaping holes. It wasn't moving, just standing there. I spun around, heart pounding. The corner was empty. Slowly, I turned the camera back. The thing was closer. I dropped the phone. My breath came in ragged gasps. This wasn't some stupid AR feature. It wasn't a glitch. I wasn't supposed to see it. And now, it knew. I slept with the lights on that night. The phone stayed face down on my dresser. By morning, I convinced myself I imagined it. Lack of sleep. A trick of the shadows. But curiosity gnawed at me. I picked up the phone. The Otherworld View icon pulsed. I tapped it again. The screen flickered, then settled. At first, nothing. Then, movement. Outside my window, shapes drifted through the street. Dozens of them. Some crawled on all fours. Some towered over parked cars, their elongated limbs stretching unnaturally. They slid through walls, stood behind people, hovered inches above the ground. None of them had faces. I slammed the blinds shut, chest tight with panic. The world wasn't empty like we thought. It was infested, and I'd spent my entire life blind to them. I wasn't blind anymore. That night, I dreamt of them. Their voices. No, not voices. A low, distorted hum vibrating deep in my skull. Words I couldn't understand, but somehow felt in my bones. When I woke up, my phone was in my hand. The camera was open, and the Otherworld View was already on. The screen was full of them. Hundreds. Staring. One was inches from my face. I screamed and threw the phone across the room. The screen cracked. The app closed. But the humming, the sound from my dream, didn't stop. It was coming from inside the room. I stopped using the phone, but it didn't matter. The creatures were still there. I could feel them. I'd walk into a room and sense something shifting just beyond my sight. I'd wake up gasping for air, sure that something had been hovering over me. Then the messages started. Not texts, not calls, just notifications. You see us. We see you too. Don't look away. One night, my phone vibrated violently, non-stop, buzzing like an alarm. I picked it up with shaking hands. The screen was pitch black. Then, text appeared. Open the camera. I clenched my jaw, my body locked in terror. Another message. Now. I didn't want to. I couldn't. But my hands moved on their own. I tapped the camera. The screen flickered to life, and then I saw myself. Not a reflection, not a live feed, but me, sitting on my bed, staring at my phone, exactly as I was now. But something was wrong. In the image, my mouth was slightly open. My head was tilted, like I was listening to something. And then, I moved. The me in the camera moved on its own. It turned to face me directly, and it smiled. My real body went rigid. I couldn't breathe, couldn't blink. The thing in the camera leaned closer. I felt it, though it wasn't real. Then, in a slow, unnatural voice, it spoke. They are behind you. Cold breath skated down my neck. I ran. I left the phone. I ran until my legs burned, until my lungs ached. I checked into a motel on the other side of town, kept the lights on, didn't sleep, but I couldn't escape it. The humming followed me, the knowing, the watching. I made one last mistake. I checked the motel security camera feed, just to be sure. The screen was static at first. Then, movement. The hallway outside my room. Figures. Dozens of them. Standing in the dark, facing my door. Still, waiting. And then, as I stared, frozen in horror, they turned. and they smiled.